All right, we are live with another edition of the State of Bitcoin podcast. I'm here with Rick, founder of Crypto Cloaks. Rick, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Before we get into Crypto Cloaks and everything that you guys do there, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and give me your orange pill story?
The orange pill story. All right. I'm an industrial engineer. So after I graduated college, I became engineer at Genio Turkey. Did that for a while, 8 years. And my orange pill story kind of correlates with that. So what happened is got into Bitcoin around 2016, 2017. I bought my first 3D printer 6 months before that. But then I got into Bitcoin and I wanted to get my funds off of exchanges, as you should. I put it all on a ledger. Yeah, we all know how ledger is now, but put it on a ledger and I wanted to hide it under my desk. So I figured I'll just design something real quick. And I figured, hey, maybe somebody else wants this. So I created an Etsy store. And from there, it just like kind of blew up into this whole thing. So that's my orange pill story into like Bitcoin itself. It was pretty slow. Like I kind of in 2016, I was like, well, I'm starting to understand like how the whole world's kind of falling apart. The money printer was starting to like slowly go burr. Pretty minor compared to the last 2 years, that's for sure. But then when you go down that rabbit hole, you really understand like how unique it is. I don't know. It's mind blowing to me how it all came to be, and we don't even know who created it. And it's just fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, well, when did you graduate college?
God, 2014, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so it seems like it's kind of along the timeline of you graduating college, first getting your first adult job. It's kind of similar to me. I when I was going through my I guess orange pilling, I was in grad school and I was figuring out, all right, I'm gonna start making some actual money here soon. So what do I need to do with it? And it seems like you were kind of along the same lines, like just kind of figuring out the whole money thing after you
Yeah,
graduated, right?
yeah, absolutely. You don't know what the hell you're doing when you get out of college. They don't really teach you all the life skills you should know.
Yeah, exactly. They don't teach you anything about, finance or anything like
Yeah,
that. And then I feel like I took maybe one economics class in college because I was an engineer just like yourself. And just the general gen ed courses. They don't really dive into, the economics of
no,
money or make it interesting at all where you want to actually learn it. So
it's usually
yeah,
all like bull crap anyways. Like what you
yeah.
learn in economics in college is kind of a joke compared to like what's actually happening. And I feel like they do that on purpose so you can't like look behind the veil and see what's actually happening. Everything's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the fiat, system that they got going on there, and Safety gets into that a lot when he talks about like the fiat economics and the fiat standard and everything like that. And I think at a certain point too, if they started teaching you like the real deep ins and outs of economics, they wouldn't in school. Most people wouldn't really keep going to college and
No,
things
then
like
bail. Be like, I'm not
yeah.
going to waste my money here.
Yeah,
Go do a trade
figure out
job.
other ways. Yeah, exactly. All right, so I guess tell me about Crypto Cloak. So you kind of got into it a little bit about how you designed something on your 3D printer for yourself and kind of started with the Etsy store. But I mean, you have quite a few products on there. Some of them like more novelty, and some of them like actually that you can have some serious uses that you were talking about before. So how do you come up with I guess a lot of these novelty ideas, and then we'll go into more of the use case ones
Yeah.
afterward.
The novelty ideas, I literally just create what the community wants. I would say 75, 80% of all the stuff that I make is ideas from the community or somebody wanting a custom product. And I'm like, I bet you everybody else will like that. So keep the ideas coming because literally everything that I'm designing is coming from you guys, really, like the Bitcoin grenades or the honey badgers themselves, or I don't know, the spinners and stuff like that, where I actually work with other artists and bring their products to the mainstream and print them all because they don't want to do it themselves. So yeah, I mean, I get all the ideas pretty much from the community, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then I guess some of the use case ones where I see you got like hardware wallet mounts, some home mining equipment and stuff like that you print. were you into mining before you started Crypto Cloaks, or did you just kind of, I guess, is it that another thing where you crowdsource from like Twitter?
Yeah, so I got into home mining honestly only like 5, 6 months ago. I've been watching it for a while, and I just never wanted to pull the trigger on miners myself and try to figure that all out. And then I saw all the other plebs doing it, and I was like, I really want to run my own miner. So then what I did is I just bought 2 S19Js. And then when I finally got them, I was like, oh shit, how am I going to do heat? And I saw like the shrouds and stuff on eBay. And I was like, okay, I mean, I could probably print my own or whatever, but I'll just buy them off eBay. And when I got them in, I was like, this is what people are selling. Like, this is trash. Like, the quality was really bad. They looked like crap. And I was like, well, I can do better. So then I literally just designed my own real quick. And I said, well, this is the one thing I know everybody asked for, like STLs and stuff of the files so they can print themselves. I was like, okay, so all of the home mining stuff I've decided that I will open source, toss on our file factory so anybody can download that has me as a 3D printer. But that's how the home mining started. I really just got into it, and I was like, well, all the other products on eBay that I could buy are just crap. I should just design and print my own.
Yeah. So I guess let's back up for a second. So, I mean, 3D printing. You're both yourself and I are both engineers, so I guess we're somewhat familiar and everything like that. But how did you decide to, I guess, start a business surrounding 3D printers? Was it just something that you bought because you thought you saw a lot of utility in it in college, or yeah, how did you, I guess, into your own 3D printing at home?
So my senior design project in college, I was actually in charge of running the 3D printer to make a certain piece of our product. And so that's where I kind of fell in love with it at first. And after I graduated, I was like, well, why don't I just see if I want, like, buy my own and see if I really like it. And that's where I bought my first $300 printer and fully modded it out. And that's where I slowly went down the rabbit hole of like falling in love with it completely. So
Oh, nice. Well, I
yeah.
mean, that makes sense. So, all right, I guess I just had another question for you along those lines. So, which one is louder, the 3D printer or the Bitcoin miner?
No, the miners are way louder.
Yeah.
They are way louder. I'm literally next to them. They're on this like wall right here. And yeah, you can hear them compared to printers.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, I saw you had a booth at Bitcoin Miami, and you had a few printers there running. So yeah, how big is Crypto Cloaks gotten for you? Have you got any employees, or are you still just a self-run shop and everything like that?
So over the past 2 years, it's really starting to blow up. I've been doing most of it myself, but then I started getting help from awesome Bitcoiners like Stack, who helps me get our own brand of filament. And then we have our graphic designer that I brought in to help us like do all of this awesome artwork, art designed by SF. And then I'm starting to get more and more people to help me print because I have just so many orders and I can't print them on all of our printers. So that's why Mopar was there helping me run the booth in Miami. He's an awesome guy, and he brought printers to kind of allow us to show off what we do. And I contract him out to print off some of our products. So when we get a whole bunch of orders, I just send them his way.
I gotcha. And you guys kind of had a pretty funny sign behind your booth in Miami. It said like "sold the real sign to stack more sats."
Yeah, that sign was a huge hit, and we literally thought of that at 10:30 at night, like the day before Industry Day. We're like, shit, we didn't buy a sign because we're too cheap. How can we do this? And we just like found the biggest piece of cardboard, and I brought a Sharpie just in case, and it turned out pretty damn good.
Yeah, it seemed like that helped you guys gain more attention opposed to just like a
Yeah,
normal, big sign and everything like that. So
everybody's
I mean,
spending thousands on signs and flashy stuff, and here we are just with a cardboard sign over a booth. It was pretty awesome.
yeah, exactly. So how was your experience at Bitcoin Miami? How did you like being there? And have you been to any of these kind of conferences before?
So Miami was insane. That was the first conference that I've really went to in the US. There was a lot of shit coinery. I mean, I'm not going to say that there wasn't, but I mean, Bitcoin Magazine was awesome and they did a great job of like hosting it. And they hooked me up with a badass spot for the booth. So I can't complain about that. I mean, the conference was awesome. I didn't get to check it out that much because literally I was sitting behind the booth, just kind of messing around for most of it. And our booth was so busy, I could barely get away. The only other conference that I went to has been in Berlin at the Lightning Conference when they held it out there. So it was kind of awesome to see all my old friends in Miami that I haven't seen for like 3 years. But yeah, the conference is great just to see all the people you talk to on Telegram and Twitter 24/7. I mean, that was probably the best part about it.
Yeah, that was what I liked about it a lot as well. That's what I enjoyed. I mean, some of the talks are great, but at the end of the day, you can get those talks on YouTube and see the recordings afterwards. So, being in person forums kind of cool, but I think the industry booth and everything like that is really, a big reason why a lot of people go to the conferences and to kind of connect and learn more about, various products like what you guys got going on. So yeah, I mean, I actually got to meet you in person. I connected with you over Twitter first.
Yeah, it's
Kinda
awesome, man. I love the conference just for that.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I met a few others there as well. But where are you based out of? Are you in the U.S. or are you over in Europe?
No, we're actually out of the U.S. in Colorado.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
See, that's interesting that your first conference that you went to is all the way over in Berlin. But that must have been, I guess, pre-COVID days. Is that right?
Yeah, that was pre-COVID. That was 2018. So the good old days.
Yeah. Yeah, when everything, travel wasn't as complicated as it
Yes.
is now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's really cool. So, let's get into some of these, like, novelty products that you sell. So you brought up the Bitcoin grenade. What are some of your favorite, like, I guess, wild ones that you've had that the community has asked you to design?
Yeah. So I would say Bitcoin grenade, 100%. Anhans asked me to create that for actually a Bitcoin conference in Hanoi, Vietnam. And I was like, what do you guys want? And they're like, we want a grenade with the Bitcoin symbol. And I was like, all right, I'll see what I could do. And I actually sent over 150 grenades to Vietnam in a box. And I got a call from one of them, and they're like, hey, so we shouldn't have sent all the grenades in a box because it's stuck at customs. And they actually had to bring in a like an army vet to like look through the box and like allow it to go through customs. So that was pretty crazy. And then everybody after they got their grenades was like, how the hell am I supposed to bring this home on a plane? So that was one of the crazier stories on products that we brought for sure.
Yeah, and then you guys were also printing some of your Bitcoin astronauts at the conference. So
Yeah.
tell me about that story. Is that just I guess the classic meme that goes around that's Bitcoin's going to the moon?
Yeah, exactly. That's just a simple thing that we just added a couple B's onto, and we're like, hey, why not? It's an astronaut. We all know we're going to the moon, so we started printing those. I know we printed some keychains there too, and the Bitcoin coasters. Other crazy stuff that we've made. I don't even know. You
I
put me on
saw
the
the
spot. I'm trying to
Yeah,
look
sorry,
back.
I see the Bitcoin chain that you guys.
Yeah.
So that one was cracking me up. So what was the idea with that? Did you just see, like, I don't know, watching football or something, see some turnover chains, and you thought, why not get the big giant
No, so
Bitcoin?
we literally, I've had that in my shop for like 5 years since I really started the company. And I got it off Thingiverse from a guy called Sensible Designs. The file's online, like you can download it and print it yourself. And then I would just print them at the conference and people loved them. So I was like, so I contacted the designer. I was like, hey, man, I would love to sell your chains because everybody wanted one at the Bitcoin conference and we started working out a deal. So now I can actually sell them on the site. So that was actually pretty cool because yeah, everybody wanted to like wear them and people were like trying to outbid each other, like trying to win it. I was like, you guys, I can't do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, now let's get into, I guess, some of the more, I guess, utility type stuff that you got going on. So, I know you have a lot of cases and, for Bitcoin printer or Bitcoin miners. I'm sorry. So, I guess, how do you come up with some of these designs? You mentioned it already that you have. A designer working with you. Does she or he come up with all the designs? And yeah, I guess just did you, I guess, decide to start building a lot of these just because you were starting to get into Bitcoin mining?
So for mining, we just do like shrouds and stuff. For cases, we do for like Bitcoin nodes.
Okay.
So we designed the first Bitcoin node case. I did for because I wanted to finally build my own Raspberry Blitz node. I think 4 years ago now, and I was like, well, why the hell don't I have an awesome case for it? It's Raspberry Pi. So that's where that one all came from. So I just whipped up a design, and it's went through like 5 different versions now, and it's really like changed the look of it. And I always say Bitcoin is personal. That's like one thing that I want to stand by, and I think everybody's Bitcoin node should be too because it's your copy of the blockchain, right? Like it should look how you want to. So that's one way or one reason why we allow anybody to customize anything about it: colors, shapes, you can add different designs on it and wording. So we have a lot of different cases for Bitcoin nodes themselves, just because they should be personal.
Yeah, I mean that's really interesting. So do you do like outside of I guess customizations of the thing itself? Do you accept like I don't know if somebody wanted to draw in a design or something like that and change something for some of this and add specific stuff? Do you allow people to go through and customize it completely themselves?
Yeah, so we've done that before. God, I'm trying to think of a couple of different examples. So like Foundry came to us and we designed a whole new front cover with their logo and colors and stuff, and we printed off 100 for them to give away to every single one of their employees, which was really cool. But yeah, we have different people coming up that have like a podcast and they want to put their logo on the front, so we get a drawing from them and then customize the whole front panel. We do a lot of different things like that. So.
I gotcha. That's really cool. So, all right, now let's get into the Bitcoin community. So, since you've kind of gotten started and now run a business in Bitcoin in the Bitcoin realm, what's one of the cooler things that I guess has been or opportunities that's been brought to you just because of you starting Crypto Cloaks?
The fact that I got to quit my corporate job and do Crypto Cloaks like full time has been the greatest gift that the community has given me. Like, hands down. The amount of support I've gotten from the Bitcoin community is crazy. Like I said, I started 5 years ago, and a year ago, about a year ago, I actually quit the corporate job, and now I do Crypto Cloaks full time. And that's just because of all the community support. I mean, I couldn't have done it without any of them. So that's honestly the best thing.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. So, I mean, how's it been going so far? Any regrets, or was it kind of nerve-wracking going off on your own, or are you just I mean, obviously you seem very happy with the way things are going right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm living the dream is what I always say too. People, my family always laughs when I tell them I'm living the dream, but no, I really am. I mean, I work for myself. I don't have to do the corporate grind anymore, and I really just get to spend more time with the community and interact with them all the time. Focus more on designs and bringing more projects to the space is what I really want to do, and slowly try to get bigger. I mean, I want to be able to have personalized Bitcoin nodes all around the world, and that's like one of my main goals.
I gotcha. Now, did you always want to be an entrepreneur, or did I guess finding Bitcoin and the whole sovereign individual thing kind of speak to you, and that's where you kind of decided to become an
entrepreneur? Yeah, so I owe it all to Bitcoin. I mean, I was totally okay with at the time of just the 9 to 5 grind, working for the weekends and everything like that. But once you go down that rabbit hole, you really understand that Bitcoin is the rarest asset. So you should really try to like focus on that. And then a lot of people don't understand, like, time is the rarest asset on the planet. So once you start realizing, I mean, I understood that more after getting into Bitcoin, and I go, why the hell am I wasting all this time at a 9 to 5 and working for the weekends? You're pretty much throwing away 3/4 of your life if you just work for that weekend. So that it really changed me. I mean, Bitcoin's crazy. Like, once you go down that rabbit hole, you really start to like understand the importance of all these different aspects that really you don't in the fiat world. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you there. So I think, exactly like you're saying. But my dad is an entrepreneur, so I'm a little different. I've kind of always wanted to be an entrepreneur on my own. So I'm a little jealous of you that you're already out of the 9 to 5 grind. I'm unfortunately still in it, but I got a flexible schedule enough where I could talk to cool Bitcoiners like you in the middle of the day. But yeah, so I guess how does your family view Bitcoin and like all your friends and everything like that? Because obviously they've seen the success that you've had just being in the realm and becoming an entrepreneur and everything like that. Have you been able to successfully orange pill them yet, or do they just think you're crazy internet money thing?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I get I have a hard time like trying to convince my family to get orange pilled. It's crazy. I show them all the examples. I show them the business, and they just, I don't know. It's boomers, man. They sometimes just don't understand it. I think my dad said, "Oh, it's just not for me because it's too late," and I'm just like shaking my head, like this doesn't even make any sense. And like I've tried to convince them like so many times, and I mean my whole entire family just gets sick of me talking about Bitcoin all the time. So I really have to like not talk about Bitcoin 24/7. But
Yeah, I
it's
got
one of
you.
those things.
Yeah, I got you on that one. So my dad is probably around the same realm as your dad and your family, but mine says like something similar. So he'll talk with his buddies on the golf course, and he'll talk to me about Dogecoin, or he texted me once about Shiba, and I'm like, Dad, just buy Bitcoin. That's all you need to do.
Yeah,
He's like, well, all my buddies on the golf course are talking about this one that's going boom. And then, I won't hear from him about, Bitcoin or crypto or anything for a while until the next, I guess, shitcoin pops off. And
comes
that's what
around.
makes the headlines. Yeah. So I think a lot of these, boomers and things like that, they want the flashy headlines. And once they see that, that kind of grabs their attention. Um,
I think
so,
they're
yeah,
also just stuck in the old ways of like they look at it like, oh, it's still new and I don't want to lose my life savings. But what they really don't understand is their life savings is getting completely decimated by the money printer going burr. So they're like, it's crazy. It's crazy. They just don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's yeah, like exactly like you're saying, they're kind of just in the ways of 2% inflation is normal. They got to invest in and do all the whole stock investing or things like that, maybe real estate, whatever. That's how you grow your wealth. And now this new crazy internet money thing is around, and that's just like it's like a Ponzi scheme or
Yeah.
what.
They
You
all
got to
say
get.
it's going to fail. It's going to zero at some point. I'm just like, all right. I mean, I tried. I mean, I told people to start buying at like $3,000. I have a lot of friends that reach out. They're like, Jesus, I should have listened to you, which is really funny. I was like, well, you buy it when you deserve to. So, I mean, you can always buy it now.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess what about you brought up your friends already. So do your friends, I guess, closer to your age that aren't in the Bitcoin realm, have you kind of seen them like start to come along, or is it more so exactly like you said, like they're still kind of like, oh, it's too late or what?
No, they're actually starting to come around. I mean, a lot of them started buying later on and they're like, well, I should have bought earlier when you told me. And they're starting to understand like the whole like background of Bitcoin and like how and why it's so important and how it's going to like pretty much be the next currency. So that's awesome to see. It just takes, I mean, it takes some people longer than others. I mean, we're not all lucky enough to be able to go down a rabbit hole within 6 months and be like, all right, I'm all in. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think what always helps me is, at least personally, is I buy a little bit, and then that's when I start to research is when I have some skin in the game. So
Yeah.
I've been trying this new thing where I'm sending people sats for like birthday and special occasions to try to see if it gets them to, I guess, look into it a little bit more. The problem is I'm putting like my own money into it, so they're not like as attached to it as maybe if they were to put in their own. But
Yeah.
if you find another strategy that helps you orange pill people, please let me know because I'm trying, but I'm not like being extremely pushy.
Yeah, I mean, I gave up on being the whole pushy like guy that was always like telling them, "Hey, do this, do this, do this. You got to go all in." I mean, I just stopped doing that because a lot of people just didn't care anyways. So the ones that I actually care about, I try to like keep nudging and being like, "Hey, you should do this." I'm not lying.
Yeah, exactly. Do you do any of the, I guess, Bitcoin meetups outside of, just doing some conferences here or there?
So there's one that started in northern Colorado. I'm trying to get out there. The last two I missed when they started it up just because it was before conference and I was getting ready for all that. So the next one that they throw in northern Colorado, I'll go to that one for sure.
I
And I know there's
gotcha.
a couple like north of Denver too and south. So
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is I have a feeling that the Denver area is probably not like huge for Bitcoin, but a pretty good size
yeah, they have a
of
good
people.
showing.
Yeah, so everything like that too. So I guess outside of the meetups and things like that, do you who's the coolest person that you've met
Oh
in the
God.
Bitcoin community? And have you had that moment where you're, I guess, I don't know, almost starstruck or like, wow, I can't believe that this just happened. Um, Whether it's at a meetup or conference or anything like that.
I wouldn't say one person in particular. I don't do the whole like, oh, you're like an idol of mine or whatever. I try to stay away from that because what in Bitcoin, what do we always say? Slay your idols, like don't have any. So that's a tough one. But I would say honestly, just all the plebs and people that I've met like over the years is literally the best because you talk to these people like 24/7. You give each other shit on Twitter, when you finally get to meet each other in person, it's like your long lost friend and stuff. So like at the conference, I was just hugging everybody. I was like, oh my God, it's so nice to finally meet you. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it as well. It's like, you know, it's pretty interesting, just like you said, where you're meeting all these people, where you're interacting with them a lot on the internet and on Twitter and yeah, through other mediums. And yeah, you're almost like, well, it's not like actually meeting somebody for the first
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah, I've been talking to you on Twitter, Instagram, or Telegram, and everything like that. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. I hope to get out to more, and yeah, and then hopefully I'll see you on some more as well. Do you have any plans on going to any other conferences here coming
What is
up?
the one? What's the one in August? BitBlock Boom, I think, is in
Yeah,
August.
yeah, that's
Um,
in
what's the
Austin.
one in Atlanta? What the hell is that one called? They wanted me to go out there, but I can't make it out there, I don't think. Oh, TabConf. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so BitBlock Bloom, I'm trying to go out to, but I don't know, the whole tickets for everything for me is a little pricey. So if anybody
Yeah.
has an extra ticket or anything like that wants to put me out, just let me know. Because I'm originally from Austin, so any excuse I can get to go back home to visit my family
I was gonna
and
say, hell, you got at least probably a free place to stay. That's nice.
yeah,
Unlike
yeah.
Miami hotels, holy shit.
I know that was really expensive. Was that your first time out at Miami?
I've been to Miami a couple times, but I've never stayed there for a week. And holy crap, that was crazy.
Yeah, Miami's an expensive place. I
I'd say
really
it's,
do
yeah.
like Miami, but if I were to ever try to live out there or anything, I would need a lot more income than I got coming in right now, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh
All
man.
right, so we'll close it out here with with one last question. How are you feeling about Bitcoin for the rest of the year and beyond? And what is one big reason why you're, I guess I'm assuming why you're bullish?
Oh boy. Well, I'm always bullish. I mean, that never goes away. Like bears that say, even if the price tanks, who gives a shit about the price? Let's be honest. Like, I'm in it for the long term. I love everything that I do. My main goal is to combine my two passions, 3D printing and Bitcoin. So I'm always bullish. I mean, look at all the stuff people are creating 24/7. How can you not be bullish? It's just insane to me. Like, uh, that that's it. Like, I'm bullish. I will never not be bullish. Even if the price tanks, I don't care. We're long term hodlers here, so who gives a shit? So
Yeah, there we go. I think the more I buy and the longer I've held, the less I look at the price. So I agree with you.
what's up, J-Ray?
Yeah. So yeah, and JRag in the chat says, "Hey, for telling you about the lightning prints of the conference." So, yeah, it seems like somebody in the crowd here
There we go.
came to see you as well.
And that's what it's
So
all about. That's what I said. This is what I love. I love it.
yeah, it's awesome connecting Bitcoiners from all over, just through the internet too, which is wild.
Exactly.
All right, Rick. Well, tell us where to find you and everything about Crypto Cloaks, and give us some, I guess, pardon words here.
Yeah, absolutely. Find us at cryptocloaks.com. You can find us at Crypto Cloaks on Twitter and Instagram. I run them all. So if you're talking to any of those on Twitter or Instagram, you're pretty much talking to me. And then I don't know. That's it, I guess, right? Oh, no. If you want to get into 3D printing, go to 3D. Oh, God, I can't even. 3dprintersgobird.com. And then also join our Telegram group to learn about 3D printing and all that stuff with Bitcoin at 3dprintingbitcoin.com. There's a lot of URLs.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I'll be sure to put those in the show notes as well. Rick, thank you so much for your time, and yeah, let's see Bitcoin go to the moon.
Absolutely. We're going to the moon.
Yeah, we are. All right, I'm